Hey, this is Ray,
And this is Big E.
and this is Hairholds Hub Podcast, episode number 8. And thank you for listening to our podcast today. And if you are new, welcome to our show. Thank you for joining us and listening. And if you're a return listener, thank you so much for returning and listening. And we will do our best to keep everybody entertained with all the neat, fun things we try to get out and do.
Yep.
So today's episode is about the our Florida Space Coast and all the rocket launches we have from our Space Coast.
Yep. So we have gone on a few and done some live streams of some rocket launches lately. And it's all because we are waiting for Artemis II, our famous return to the moon. So we're just trying to find out where will be the best place to to stand, to catch good video so all you guys can see it as well from wherever you happen to be in the world. It's going to be a big deal. A lot of the people we spoke to this weekend at the launch we're all so excited and are in the same boat we are. Can't wait for Artemis 2. So that's why you're going to get flooded with a whole lot of space launches, SpaceX,
Falcon 9 and
Falcon 9 and stuff like that. We're feeling out where we want to be for the big one, the history maker.
and no, right? History in the making. It's just exciting. And it's really exciting because even for like my mom and your parents, they were all here for the original stuff, all for Apollo, all of that. Even though they were kids, it's still they were alive. And here we are here we are going again because the last attempt was 1972. I was 1. I didn't know. I was 1. I was an infant. I don't even think you were here yet.
I wasn't here yet. I was maybe cooking, but not here.
So this is exciting. I love this stuff. I'm the shuttle era. When I lived up here with my grandparents and everything, we would go and see these launches locally. You could see them out of the backyard, but a lot of times, especially my grandfather, especially with the night launches for the shuttle launches, we would go to a Space View Park in Titusville or get as close as we could before the launch because some days it was so busy. He just wants to share. Sorry, the little guy in the background here, little C's just wanting to share. But we would go to Space View Park and Titusville. So this is exciting for me too. And what is really cool is these Falcon 9 rocket launches we've been showing and airing and recording. They're autonomous rockets. They're not ran by humans. The only part that the human has to do is the sequence for the launch and to hit the button if something pops up and they have to stop the launch. I mean,
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
What do you think of that? How cool is that? And last weekend was your first actual close encounter with a launch. So what were your thoughts about that? Let everybody know.
Yeah. Well, growing up, we lived in South Florida, so we could actually see the shuttle go up. You'd see just this little pencil orange line go in the sky. But so that was about it for me. But it was the first time I'd actually been that close to see a launch, and it was really neat. It's some of the really neat stuff is to see the rocket it's going up, and then all of a sudden you start hearing it because it takes that time for the sound to get to you. Um, Also, just to start to see the excitement that brings everybody around, And when we were there this past weekend for the launch, there were people walking around doing whatever, and as soon as it went off, all movement stopped and everybody was paying attention to the rocket. It was really neat. It's just something to see.
Yes, and it was neat too because it was all different types of people there. There were fish. Some were fishing. Some were shrimping. Some were down at the little tiki bar restaurant, bar and grill right there. They were enjoying that. And I didn't realize where we were. There's a pier there too, so we're gonna have to check that out the next time we go for a launch. To check see another launch. But so for the most part, we've been watching them from here at our house. We don't get to hear the rumble and the bumble, but we can see it. So that's really cool. So what? 2 weeks ago, we tried to see it from Cocoa Beach Pier while we were visiting our family in Melbourne. So we went down to the Cocoa Beach Pier.
Okay. Yes. So the Cocoa Beach Pier, that was really neat. It would be a very good vantage point. We're a little bit south of it, but the security guards there, he turned us on to some interesting things. He said when the couple of nights prior had gone up, it was a good view, and everybody was like, "Wow!" So we'll have to try to get back down to Cocoa Beach Pier for a launch to see how that goes.
I don't have the app on this phone.
And
The
then
Space Launch app.
he
That's
gave
it.
us he gave us an app, a space launch schedule. And it's got looks like a little monkey in an astronaut suit.
It's free.
When you see it on, uh, well, we have Apple, so when you see it on,
It's Apple iPhone.
yeah, when you see it on an iPhone, when you see that, that's when you know you got the right one. But yeah, it goes up to date, and if they push a launch back, they update it, and so you're on the know, on the go all the time.
Right, like when we got there to the pier and we're setting up, and our introduction to him was, no, you can't use a tripod.
Yeah.
So we had to take our tripod down, take the iPad down. It was my first attempt at using StreamYard too. It was a debacle.
Yeah.
And it was so breezy, and the breeze made it so chilly standing up there on the pier too. But it was really neat. Man, that would have been a heck of a view. What? That would have been so cool. Because that was only a couple of minutes. And that is only a couple of minutes outside of Space Force Base.
Yep. Yeah, the Cocoa Beach Pier is just a few minutes north of Patrick Space Force Base.
So that's neat to drive by too. We'll have to go by in the daytime, go by that. So that way we are, you can see it. We can do another video. And on Earth Bay, sorry, the little guy is just he wants to play, and I'm not sure exactly but that was really neat. And the pier closes at 10 p.m.
And the launch was pushed back to 10:45. So guess what? The pier closed. So we had to head back and find something else to do.
So instead, we went out to the front of our family's neighborhood and watched it from there. And it went right over us too when we started that live feed video. And it was 3.5 minutes after it took off that the rumble and the bumble caught up to us.
Yep.
Right. So that was really cool. That was neat to hear it come rolling in. It sounded like just rolling.
Yep.
It was neat. And we got to see the rocket booster do its burn off to land.
Yep.
So that was really cool. So, and then on our way home the next day, we stopped off at Spaceview Park.
Yeah, and check that out for the first time. That's where we watched this last time. And we also, Ray had a chance to walk around and video some of the memorials.
The Veterans Memorial.
Veterans Memorial.
That's it.
I think there was one for Apollo. There was one for Gemini.
Right, and then there's for a space memorial that starts with Gemini. But my battery died before I could get to Gemini. So we'll have to redo that again too. There's also a space museum there. It closes at 5 too. There's a lot of neat little roadside attractions to do there. And the cool part is that when it doesn't matter if you're going north or south on 95, it is exit 220. Spaceport 220.
Yeah. So those of you who are Disney fans know that the restaurant in Mission Space building in Epcot is Spaceport 220.
But there's the 220 is the actual mileage to the International Space Station, 220 miles. So it's 220. And it was really cool. Exit 220. And then when you head east, we timed it and it was 6.5 minutes from I-95. So it's, if you wanted to go to the park and just get out of your car, use the clean bathrooms, walk around, look at the memorials, which they are really amazing. Again, I can attach the video to it. They're kind of quiet and they're not like super exciting, but it's chock full of information and astronaut info. It was really neat. And again, we're going to revisit here lately more often than the normal. So we'll get the Gemini. We will hit the museum, and there's tons of local. That's the old side of Titusville too. So that you're getting, old school Titusville. There's a Dixie. What's the name of that little restaurant? Dixie Crossroads.
Yes, Dixie
It's
Crossroads.
Been there. I saw online. It's been there since like the 50s. So we are going to have to visit that establishment and try some of the local food.
Yeah, that'll be one of our
little
roadside attractions.
It'll be a part of one of them. But it was neat when we did, like last Sunday when we were there. We went to the top, not to the tippy top of the Max Brewer Causeway to do a live for the sunset, which was amazingly gorgeous from up there. It was beautiful.
Watch the sunset over the state of Florida. Not just out the coast, but over the state of Florida. Right, that was gorgeous, and then we weren't even at the top yet. And that reminds me of the Rickenbacker, but I think that actually beats the height of the Rickenbacker. We'll have to find out. I will have to do my homework on that because I've ridden on a bicycle down that at 30 some miles an hour on a bicycle, road bicycle. So yeah, that was pretty cool. So I don't know if they do those there, but that was a lot of fun. But the wind had picked up, and now we believe that's why they kept pushing the launch back, because at the launch time that night, Sunday night, the water out there on the intercoastal was calm. Okay, and then so while you're watching the live feed, again, I can post that as well. And then the show notes is about 33 minutes long. It is black. And then you see the steady light off in the distance. I don't know in it, but that's the VAB where Artemis is at currently finishing its final touches. Right. And then the launch pad was to the right of it. And there's a launch pad to the left of it. Everybody thought it was going to be to the left, but it actually ended up being to the right of the VAB. Because we are learning too, some of the numbers in the title that they post on the launches tells you where it's being launched. So we just recently learned that too. Yeah. And so it's been really cool to learn and to check it out. I did get StreamYard to work on that visit, and you'll see more of launch views from home. I'm going to do some more home views, watch parties, like this evening, early morning, whichever you want to prefer to call it. There's a 2 a.m. one, 1:58. So I'm going to try to stream it, do a split screen with SpaceX's stuff so you can hear what's going on, because it has to clear the trees before we get to see it. And it's really cool because it's actually coming up this way again. Yeah. So it'll come towards us. But I've never heard the rumble from here. Do you remember hearing the rumble? No, we might be too far away.
because all the stuff in between breaks it up.
Yeah, at the coast, we're only a couple miles, if that,
Well,
if that.
yeah, it's
You know,
still
out here we're probably 50 plus miles.
easy.
So yeah, when you're plus coming through all the woods and stuff, it probably loses a lot of.
So that brings us back around to Artemis II.
Yep.
Artemis II is in the VAB right now. It's in its vehicle um, garage. Let's just put
Yep.
it that way. It's easy. Let's make it easy. It's in its garage. They did fix the hydraulic leak, the helium leak.
Yep.
The article I read today states they're fixing batteries. They're replacing a whole bunch of batteries while they have it in there. They're just going through and doing a refix on Orion, the spacecraft that the astronauts are going to. They're actually going to be doing slingshots. They got to do a 2-loop slingshot around us.
Yep.
To head out to the moon before they got to rotate. They got to do 2 orbits around us to get that slingshot. So it's going to be really exciting to watch and learn. And so in the next 1 to 2 weeks, Artemis is going to be rolled back out on the CT2 back to the platform for launch because
Yep.
they have to do the wet rehearsals. That's how they find these leaks and stuff and make sure it works and everything goes through. And then we'll see if it's going to be April 1st.
Yep.
That's the original date. Then the backup 2 dates were the 3rd through the 5th. And then for the end of April, they were talking the 28th, 29th, and the 30th. That was what I originally have, and I haven't seen any change on that. So again, you guys, this is really exciting. So forgive us. Yes, that our feeds are going to be flooded with this. And we should be heading back into the parks maybe next weekend. Totally depends on what the doctor's results to all the testing we've had to have done lately in regards to our cancer journey, fight, battle. It's a battle. But
Yep.
as soon as and then we'll find out what that all entails too. And that has been dictating a lot of reason why we haven't been back to the park since we were blacked out in December.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to go back. It's going to be fun. But yeah, so, all right. So stay tuned. So tonight there is a launch tonight. So by the time anybody hears this, it will be past the launch time, but I will still put it in the show notes. It'll be a couple of days because
Yep.
of how I have everything set up. And thank you again for joining us. If you're new, thank you. Welcome. We're glad you're here. We hope you like what you hear and
Yep.
you stick around with us.
And if you like what you hear and you want to hear some more, like, subscribe, and follow. We plan on doing a lot more neat stuff. Trying to bring you guys a lot more of Artemis. In our previous podcast, we spelled out some of the roadside attractions we're trying to do. We just said we're trying to get back into the parks. So a lot of exciting stuff coming. So don't miss it. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the little bell, little ding, and let you know you're ready to watch. And we will see you guys on the flip side.
Right. And so check out our YouTube channel, Hair Holds Hub. If you Google it, search it, we are the only hub there. We are the only Hair Holds Hub. You can't miss it. So check us out. Check out our videos. I'll put a link in the show notes to all the things that we discussed in the show. And we can't wait to get back to the park theater. I think we're jonesing as well to have some kind of great fun park time.
Yep.
And looking forward at that too. We have the flower and garden coming up. We also have
Rock the
Rock the Garden.
Yeah, so that's
April.
concert series.
Sometime in April is D23. Tickets will go on sale. So if you plan on going to D23, the real D23 this year, It's two.
in Anaheim.
It's yes, it's in Anaheim, and it's in August. You will have to sit online like y'all sit online for Run Disney, which I've had to do multiple times. Get your virtual queue and wait in line.
Yep.
Man, that can be nail biting to find out if you're going to get tickets. But if you're going to go, that's one of the biggest things that's going on this year for Disney. I'm excited for Thunder Mountain to reopen this summer.
Yep.
I'm so excited. That's so much fun.
May the 4th.
Yes, we have May the 4th coming. That's
We
on the weekend.
missed May the 4th last year because we got
We
one
had
of
to
us got
work.
sick. We had to and everybody else had to work.
Right.
So,
Oh, bud. So we
So
will be going to that. That'll be so much fun.
yep.
There's what else is going on? They just had Adventureland Day at the first of this month. It was in Magic Kingdom. Everybody was dressed up in their safari attire and did the little scavenger hunt. They won't do another one until September of this year. We didn't get to go to that either because of all our wonderful tickle little things going on, but that's okay. They'll do it again in September. Um, Lightsaber meetups are coming along too. They'll probably have one on May the 4th. We might end up staying the night for May the 4th. I don't
Yep.
know yet.
We'll try.
And if we do, we'll let you know and we'll do a room review, share where we're at and show you. So stay tuned. Again, thanks for joining and thank you for sticking around for those of you that have been subscribed with us from episode 1. This is Ray with Hairholds Hub.
Big E.
This is episode 8. Thank you. Oh, and by the way, one last thing. If you see us in the parks and you notice us, say hey, hi, and hello. We'll be more than happy to stop and say hello and all that wonderful fun stuff.
Yep.
And also stay tuned for other episodes that are going to have travel discounts, park news, park history. I have a whole lineup set up. So yes. And we'll do ones with all the travel discounts for the parks, for Disneyland and for here, for Orlando. So we've got all kinds of neat things coming down the pike. There might be some SeaWorld coming down the pike. There might be a little bit of Universal Studios coming down the pike. So this will be a lot of fun. Join us. We're working on getting back up to a 5K. I have emails out to Run Disney about having Colton as an adaptive athlete because he cannot do 5Ks. Even when he's in 3 more years, when he's older, when he can do the 5K by foot, he won't be. I don't think he's ever going to be able to have the endurance right now. But I'm looking to get him to be an adaptive athlete, so one of us can push him in his adaptive chair to enjoy and experience what a 5K is. Maybe down the pike, totally depending on what the heck's going on. The goal will be eventually to do a half marathon. As that journey goes, I will keep you posted. But I still have an email out. I've had that out since January, but I know they've been super busy. They just had last weekend. They just had Princess.
Yep.
So there's a lot coming down the pike, and the registration for a marathon weekend in January here at WDW is coming also in April. They just had registration for Wine and Dine. That's sold out. And on Telegraph, if you join Telegraph, that's another free app, and you look up Run Disney, they will open slots. If they have slots open, it will pop up there, and you have like minutes to get in and get registered. But Telegraph is another one to go check out and find Run Disney, and you can get the notifications there if you want to join in between.
Correct.
So, and those are always busy. I had to turn off the notifications on my phone because it was just back to back. I'll go and check. But so April is going to be a busy Busy month for registrations. And with that, once again, have the
Have the day
day
you
you
deserve.
deserve.